everybody, my name is Zach. I'm a principal engineer here at Plainsight Technologies. Today I'm going to take you through a very quick, very fun demo of our new product called FilterBox. So to get started, we're going to dive right into a terminal. I've already got FilterBox installed on my machine. I've even given it a cute alias. So you see that FilterBox is a CLI, it's a command line interface. Interact with it exactly the way you'd interact with any other CLI. So to get started, let's talk about what FilterBox does. So if I run a FilterBox init, it's going to ask me for a password. And so what this is actually going to do, it's going to install and build out everything that you need to run computer vision applications, what we call filters, at the edge, near edge, cloud, wherever you want to do it. All right, so I've made sure that we've got everything that we need there. Let's actually go and use FilterBox now to deploy a computer vision application to this environment and then check and make sure that it's doing what we actually want it to do. All right, so let's get rid of all that. We're going to start back with FilterBox, filter, list. Let's just make sure that we don't have anything installed, so nothing's running there. Let's install a filter. So it's going to go check, make sure that we have the right access to the repositories that we need. We're going to choose to do general object detection. We're going to take the version that's available, and then I'm going to give it a real-time streaming protocol feed. Oops, made a mistake. Made another mistake. Let's go back and correct it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and give it that RTSP feed. And okay, that's it. We're done. Okay, so what did we just do? We made sure that we had everything that we needed to have in the FilterBox environment so that we can run a filter. And then we deployed a filter to that environment. So in this instance, this is just my Ubuntu machine, but this could be an NVIDIA Jetson, at the edge, at the near edge, or really anywhere. It could really be any x86 Linux machine. So let's take off our FilterBox hat and put on our Kubernetes hat for a moment, because what FilterBox actually does is it installs a single node Kubernetes cluster, K3s, on your device, and so now you get to interact with that device in the FilterBox environment the same way that you would interact with any Kubernetes environment. We've made this decision because we know that Kubernetes is eating up the world, and that most organizations have people that know how to do things in Kubernetes. So we said, let's go where the users, the operators are going to be. So let's dive in, and so I'll just do a KGP. All namespaces. That's just kube control get pod. We'll check all these namespaces. You can see kube system. I got my Plainsight namespace, GPU operator, so I can leverage, the nice, fantastic compute and GPU that I have available. That's really it. So let's scope that back down. Let's just look in the Plainsight namespace. And you can see we got NanoMQ and our filter that we deployed. So NanoMQ is just going to be your messaging broker. So the data that's coming off of the filter that you're running, it's going to get passed to NanoMQ into data feeds, topics, so that you can actually take that data and integrate it with your business so that you can solve your business problems. You don't need to solve computer vision. Computer vision is already a solved problem. All right, so now let's actually make sure that that filter is running and ready in reality. So I like to use this tool called Tail that I add into my kube control setup. So it's just it's a plugin that I install with Crew. And I tell it that I need to be in the Plainsight namespace. Give the -p flag. We're going to tell it we want to tail that pod. So what it's actually going to do is just going to follow the logs coming off of this pod. So we can see, hey, we've got some 200s here. That looks really good. You can see that we're sending some logs out that say we're publishing FPS metrics, we're publishing frame to a topic, we're publishing detections to a topic. That's running on that NanoMQ service that we stood up for you. So it looks like everything is working as we expected to. We don't need to tail that pod anymore. And matter of fact, we can go ahead and kind of clear that out. So just for excitement's sake, let's review. So we've got KGP. We're going to look only in our namespace. Let's actually look for services. So kube control get service, KGS, and my shorthand. Let's look, whoops, inside the plain sight namespace. Okay, so we've got a pod and we've got a service. What we can actually do is we can forward that service using port forwarding to localhost and pull it up in a browser and view it. And so let's go and do that right now. So we will just do a K, shorthand for kube control. We want to make sure that we tell it what namespace we want to work in. Alright, and we're just going to pop in that service name. We'll map it to 8080 and pull the trigger. All right, let's check and make sure that everything is working as we expect it to be, just the way we want it. So let's now pop this open. Let's refresh. Fantastic. So you can see as we're going through frames in a video, it's of a cattle drive. So it's somewhere in cattle country. Where they're driving cattle through the middle of this town. And so the object detector is seeing the cows. It's picking up the cows. It's also picking up horses, cars, trucks, signs. This is an out-of-the-box model. So this is no fine-tuning, no training, no specialized anything. Just an out-of-the-box model. We take it, we package it up in our framework that allows it to run in a container. That allows us to connect to NanoMQ, do all the special things that we have to do to make this work for you. And you can see, bam, there we go. So this has been a great little demo. I think we've done this in about 7 or 8 minutes. So it just goes to show that once you get acquainted with this tool, you can be up and running and using computer vision to solve your problems in less than 10 minutes. Thanks for joining me. I'm Zach. Great to see you.